Welcome back to Star or Shovelware, my name's Luke, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at a duo of games recently released onto the eShop by developer and publisher RandomSpin Games. Now I've seen a couple of their previous releases which to be honest had me somewhat intrigued, and if you've been following the channel for a while you'll no doubt be aware that I love to cover weird titles, and in this regard Disco Cannon Airlines definitely appear to fit the bill, as did the other title we're going to take a look at, Funny Truck. But sometimes looks can be deceiving, so let's not waste any more time, hit that like button, subscribe for more Switch related content, and let's get into it. Warning, this video contains strong language. If you're feeling particularly sensitive today, might I kindly suggest that you f off now. Now, we're going to be doing away with the usual format for my reviews for this one, or these ones, due to the fact that neither of them have anything in the way of a storyline to talk about, and to put it bluntly, both games look and sound like shite. And so for the most part, I'm going to be focusing entirely on the gameplay, starting with Disco Cannon Airlines. Now, going by the eShop's description, the objective in Disco Cannon Airlines is to shoot your character into the sky, and then move your character around to hit airplanes, cows and trampolines to earn points and boost your player higher into the sky, and apparently the aim is to earn as much points as possible. Starting at the main menu, we get a cheeky little teaser of what the game has in store for us, as we're presented with a dancing cow with whatever the fuck that is strapped to its head, and a dead guy in a cannon. And upon pressing the A button, we drop straight into the game, with the on-screen text prompting us to press and hold A. Now, doing so builds up a power meter, and once it reaches the top, our afro-toting businessman is then launched from the cannon, followed by a load of formula shit appearing on the screen and the game freezing up several times before we're propelled high into the sky. And from here on out it's just a case of bouncing off planes, trampolines and cows in order to keep building height and points. Now, you would have imagined that the creation of such a simple game wouldn't have been an arduous task for the developer, and that after implementing the camera controls, the controls for moving your character around, and possibly some kind of physics engine, there wouldn't really be much else left to do for it. But unfortunately it seems like even these things were a little too much for this dev, as the controls in the game are completely fucked. Now, after launching into the sky and gaining control of your character, you'll instantly realise that you in fact have zero control over him, and that pushing the analog stick in a particular direction doesn't cause him to move in that direction, and instead it sends him in a random direction and doesn't seem to be based off anything or relative to the direction in which he's facing. To add to this complete shit show though, your direction of travel will actually constantly shift, as will the direction that your analog sends you in, so it is in fact fucking possible to control your character. Now, after 10 minutes of wrestling with the analog stick like a right bellend and only getting about 3 trampolines up, I'd already had enough of this shit and decided to give up. But not before I discovered that hitting any of the face buttons actually causes an explosion which propels you higher, and you can actually press these an unlimited number of times, sending yourself higher and higher as your points constantly count up. That is until you hit an invisible barrier and the game resets itself. So yeah, all in all, Disco Cannon Airlines is what's commonly referred to as a bag of dicks. And let me tell you now, in my 2 years of covering titles on the Switch, I've played a lot of shite, from the monotonous merry-go-round that is Super Loop Drive, to the single sprite shit show that is Skull Rogue, and even that Pixar abortion American Wild Hunting. But Disco Cannon Airlines undoubtedly takes the biscuit for the biggest pile of shovelware shite I've played on the channel today. Or at least that's what I thought before I played our next game, Funny Truck. Now, going by the eShop description on this one, which has about as much grammatical finesse as a 3-year-old dyslexic, the objective in Funny Truck is to drive truck over the ramps and trampolines and make tricks in the air and throw people out of the truck, again all with the aim of earning as many points as possible. And getting into the game we get to do exactly that, but there's absolutely no skill or reason to it, and again it's completely fucking pointless. Now we control our truck with a left analog stick, but instead of moving smoothly and there being any kind of simple car controller implemented, the car actually snaps towards one of 8 directions, although rotating the camera does give the impression that it's actually turning smoothly. As we drive around the arena, which is a mishmash of randomly placed ramps of various sizes and shapes, and trampolines which catapult you up into the air when you ride across them, human-shaped objects with ragdoll physics constantly spawn in the back of your truck, only to be flung out whenever you change direction, and all the while your points are totted up in the top right corner. You can drive around erratically, hitting ramps and jumps and turning sharply to cause your would-be passengers to fall out quicker, but that is it though, that's the game in all its shallow glory. Now I did drive off the edge of the arena just to see what would happen, and this just resulted in me being teleported back to the centre of it, and I also, after several failed attempts, managed to make my way up a series of ramps to the very top of the arena, where I found a trampoline and promptly bounced on it before plummeting back down to the ground below. Now, Funny Truck is probably the least accurate name the developer could have given the game, because it's not in the slightest bit funny. But you know what the worst thing about this fucking game is? It's its audio design, which consists of an onslaught of sound effects, including a bunch of different blips and bleeps, a laugh, and of course a fart noise, cause why not? And its 10-second music loop is even more bollock-twistingly irritating than the Popeye game music, and it just goes over and over and over again. Jesus. Now I know I've said this before, but how the flying fuck are games like these actually making it onto the Switch eShop? There are no doubt plenty of talented developers out there who haven't been able to get their titles published and whose games might not be perfect, but good god, if RandomSpin Games can get shit like this, which could barely be classified as a tech demo, let alone a game published, then surely they also deserve a shot. You know, I often wonder if Nintendo is just trying to compete with the Google Play Store to see who can host the most shovelware, but admittedly it has been a while since I've found anything as bad as these two titles, and who knows, maybe one day they'll get the shit together and stop thinking about the wallet so much, and more about the people that are filling them. Until then though, you can no doubt count on me to keep finding this trash, playing it so that you don't have to, and producing videos like this to warn you all of them, and maybe just entertain you a little bit in the process. With that said though, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to hit that like button, let me know your thoughts and opinions on the game in the comments section below, and if you're not yet subscribed to the channel but have been enjoying my content, then please consider doing so. For now though, I just want to thank you all once again for watching, and until next time, take care of yourselves and game on.